Welcome back, everybody, to the Rich Life Training Series powered by Grosso University. I'm Dominic Caminata, CEO of Grosso University, the industry-leading training and consulting group. We're back here in the Grosso studio with our good friend and mentor, Dr. InJun Chong, who, as you know, is the CEO of Reveal Wellness and the founder of this Rich Life program. In this course, we're going to be talking about some of the building blocks behind true financial success, which are your ideas, your goals, and your vision. So we alluded to this in a previous video, defining your why. We're going to dive a little bit more into exactly how we do that. These are not just motivational buzzwords. They are actually a structure behind every dollar you earn and every result you create. So I train this often when I'm training salespeople and organizations all over the country about how to get our creativity engine fired up. Because I think we've talked about in other videos how very few adults are actually creative nowadays, right? And I think it's really important that early in the day, we establish goals and we get creative about the ideas, the positive fuel we're putting into our mind to propel us forward. So to kind of break this down, have you ever heard of a vision? Like if you have a vision for your future, some people talk about vision boards. You talk about having a long-term vision. I think we talked about in the previous video, actually writing your eulogy, what people are going to say about you when you pass on to the heavens above, right? But what is your vision for your future? Now, you think of a vision as long-term, that's like your destination. Now, with any destination, if I'm going to transport myself to a destination, there's some sort of vehicle or transportation that's required to get me there. Sometimes I can walk there, I could run there, I could ride a bike, I could drive a car, I could take a plane, train, whatever it is, right? But I need some sort of transportation to get me to my final destination. Now, with any vehicle or any form of transportation, I need some sort of fuel. That could be your body as fuel, that could be gasoline, it could be a number of different things, right? Whatever vehicle that I'm in is going to require different types of fuel in order to propel me forward. And those are their ideas. So to break this down, your vision is your destination, the goals are the vehicles or the means of transportation to get you to your destination, and the ideas are the fuel, the little rungs in the ladder in order to achieve your goals so I can achieve my vision for my future. So here's a goal-setting exercise that can literally change your life, okay? So the first thing that everybody watching this video, the first thing everybody needs to do is they need to have a vision board. Now, some people think of this as cheesy, this is old school, old-fashioned, but it's very, very important, and I would argue essential to have a clear picture as to what the hell you're working for in your life. Like we talked about the why before you fly, right? We need to have the why clearly articulated in a picture, because we think in pictures, not words, as to what exactly I'm trying to achieve in my life. So what's my vision for my future? That's the destination. You should have a vision board, whether it's a blank canvas, a piece of cardboard, whatever it is, and have pictures and images clearly articulating what it is that you see as your vision for your future, the long-term destination, what I'm working towards. It's time to listen up, closers. Before you go any further, you need to hear this. The Grosso University Sales Academy Masterclass is not just another training opportunity. This is the most in-demand, highest-rating sales training program in the history of the home improvement industry. Thousands of sales warriors just like you have gone through this life-changing program taught by our world-class head sales trainer, Daniel Coombsbury, and they are winning more and bigger because of it. If you're serious about dominating in sales, this is where you go to sharpen your edge. The best part is, it's 100% virtual and happens on the second Monday of every month, so there are absolutely zero excuses not to invest in your growth and development. Why don't you go ahead and hit the link in the description to learn more and lock in your spot and get ready to ignite the greatness within. On behalf of Grosso University, yes, you are a closer, and back to the video. Now that I have my vision for my future, I want to look at my vision board and circle the one thing on that vision board, whether it's I want to make $500,000 a year, whether it's I want the fancy car, I want the Rolex watch, I want the dream vacation. Maybe you want to own a house in a tropical destination. You have people in your life you want to help and serve. There's charities maybe you want to found yourself or be able to support along the way. Whatever your vision board speaks to, whatever your destination looks like, circle the one that's the most meaningful to you and then write down 5 to 10 goals you would need to achieve in order to accomplish that vision for your future. So what are the goals, the things I would need to accomplish in my life? Whether it's I need to make $500,000 a year to get to my final income goal, the lifestyle I see for my vision. Whether it's I need to make $250,000 a year if I'm going to have enough extra income to buy the fancy car or to buy the investment property or the fancy house on the beach, whatever it is. So figure out what goals would I need to achieve in order to achieve that vision for my future. Now, with any list of goals, you want to look at your list of goals. Let's say you have 5 goals written on a piece of paper. I hope you're following along. This is an interactive exercise here, by the way. So you have your visions written down, or on an image on a vision board. You have your goals written down, the goals I need to achieve. Now I ask myself the following question. If only one of these goals came true tomorrow, which one of these goals would have the most profound impact on my life and propel me faster and more efficiently towards my vision for my future? So you want to circle whatever that goal is. Now you have your definite, worthwhile, written goal. So what's the Grosso University definition of success? You are successful when you have a definite, worthwhile, written goal with a precise date and you're presently moving towards it, right? So you have your definite, worthwhile, written goal. Now you need to give yourself a deadline. What is your deadline to achieving that goal? What deadline are you going to give yourself? The subconscious mind loves deadlines. And when you give yourself a deadline, think of it like when your house is a mess. If you gave yourself a month to clean your house, guess what? You're going to clean your house in a month. However, occasionally we have it where companies coming over in an hour and we have to get our house clean. Guess what? You will get your freaking house clean in an hour because you have that definite goal. You have a deadline to achieve it. It's amazing what you can achieve when you have deadlines. If you don't have a deadline, guess what? It's never going to happen. It's like smoke in the wind. So you have to give yourself a deadline. So now that I have that goal, what are some ideas I can come up with? That's the fuel for your vehicle. What are some ideas I can come up with and write down that's going to help me achieve my goal, which is going to propel me forward to achieving my vision for my future? So that's the exercise. I think what's interesting, Doctor, is when you look at the definition of a goal, and I want to get your take on this. So a goal by definition is an object or desired result of a person's ambition or effort. Okay? Now, the words ambition and effort are literally in the definition of what a goal is. So when you hear the words ambition and effort, what do you translate that as?
Well, it's energy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You need that to propel forward. Otherwise, it's not going to be sustainable. That's the whole thing that we're talking about, really about health.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that vitality, you'll never get to any of these goals. You'll never attain these goals.
Yep. It takes effort, energy, right? It takes fuel. So my thing is like human beings, we're not designed to be given anything. Like if I just give you something for nothing, that only has so much value associated with. Here's an analogy I think you'll appreciate. So let's say that you showed up to a marathon, and let's say we did the Madison half marathon. Actually, you just did the Crazy Legs, right? Mm-hmm. So, but let's say you did the Crazy Legs in Madison or a Madison half marathon. I live in Madison, Wisconsin, so it's only fitting. You showed up to the race, you go to the start line, and someone comes up and puts a medal around your neck and says, "Congratulations, we'll see you again next year." How much does that medal mean to you? How much value do you associate with that medal? None. As a matter of fact, that medal means nothing to you. Now, what makes that medal meaningful? Well, of course, when I trained and prepared for that marathon, all the blood, sweat, and tears I shed in preparation for that, and then I run the 13.1 miles or the 26.2 miles for a full marathon and push myself beyond my perceived limitations and shatter through the walls I build in front of myself, right? So I raised the bar on what I think is possible. I achieved this goal, but it took a lot of effort. It took blood, sweat, and tears. It took energy, as Doctor said. So that's what makes that medal meaningful. Now when I see that thing hanging on the wall, that resembles the whole journey and the achievement that it required ambition and effort to achieve. That's the way life is. We are goal-seeking mechanism. We are goal-oriented beings, but it takes ambition and effort. None of this stuff is going to be given to you. So knowing this is going to take energy, ambition, and effort, how can I make sure that I'm channeling my energy in the right ways, right? So they say work smarter, not harder. Well, I find that one of the smart things you can do to start is create a plan. So I have a goal, that's great, but what's your plan? What are the ideas you're going to write down in order to get you there? So this is one thing that's not conditioned into us to be able to do.
Are you ready to take control of your health and start living a rich life? Then it's time for us to talk. I'm Dr. InJun Chong, CEO and the founder of Reveal Wellness. It's been my life's dedication helping sales warriors, business leaders, entrepreneurs, and high achievers just like you optimize their performance in their personal and professional lives. If you're feeling stuck and burned out and you're ready to reignite your vitality, click the link in the description and connect with me directly. Because above anything else, you deserve to live a rich life, and I can help you get there. I'm looking forward to meeting with you, and back to the video.
Did I ever tell you about that Harvard study that was conducted? It was a longitudinal study in Harvard graduates that tracked them for 30 years post-graduation.
No.
Okay, so you can look this up. So there's a study done in Harvard graduates. It was a 30-year study, so I mean, you're talking extensive. And they wanted to figure out what was different about the most successful people that graduated from Harvard? Like, what was unique about the way they lived, their lifestyle, that allowed them to be financially so well off, okay? And they found that 97% of the Harvard graduates had no written goals, had no deadlines, and just flew by the seat of their pants, because that's how we're conditioned to live. Did they do a lot of goal setting in college and in high school? Did they show you how to set a goal and write down ideas and create a plan? They don't do these things. It's simple. It seems very simple, right? Because 85% of people, according to Brian Tracy, that have a definite, worthwhile written goal with a precise date achieve the goal 85% of the time. So it must mean that 85% of people are successful, right? No. 97% of people don't achieve their goals because they don't have any. And they found that only 3% of the Harvard graduates had definite, worthwhile written goals that gave themselves deadlines, that created ideas and plans to get there. They had a clear image of what their vision for the future was. Those 3% of the Harvard graduates made more money than the 97% of the other Harvard graduates combined. So what does that tell you? What does this lesson tell you? It tells you that if I truly want to make more money, I need to make sure that I break this thing down. I have a clear vision. What is it that I'm working for and why, right? Then I establish what goals that I need to achieve. You're creating this plan, this roadmap. But I want you to think, the vision is your destination. The goals are the vehicles, modes of transportation. The ideas are the fuel that drives your goals to achieve your vision for your future. But you got to break this down one step at a time. This is why it's so important that you got to pick your definite, worthwhile written goal. And this is what I like asking myself. If only one of these goals came true tomorrow, which should have the most profound impact on my life? So if income's your goal, if only one of these goals came true tomorrow, which one of these goals that I achieve would have the most profound impact on my ability to generate wealth, generate money, income? And then you circle that and then start writing down ideas. So here's one thing I ask all salespeople, right? If you just took a scratch sheet of paper out each morning and you wrote down 10 ideas on how you can achieve your goals, 10 ideas. How long would that take you, by the way? Let's just say 5-10 minutes at most to write down 10 ideas. And these 10 ideas are ideas you can come up with and how to achieve your goals. Some of them may stem back to health and wellness. I need to physically be healthy and well if I'm gonna have the energy and ambition and effort to achieve my goal, right? Some of it may be different types of goals. I need to educate myself because knowledge is power, right? And I need to take action. So you break this thing down, but you write down 10 ideas a day. That's 3,650 goals or ideas a year. Now, how many great ideas does it take to change your life? Only one. That's the beautiful part about it. But I promise you, if you just fly by the seat of your pants, you don't have a vision for your future, you don't have your goals clearly articulated, written down, you should be updating this all the time, and you don't have the fuel, the ideas mapped out, you're going to go approximately nowhere. You're going to stay the same. You know, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We've all heard the definition of insanity, but this is not hard. So what we're talking about here, we're not splitting atoms. All it is just taking some time to start getting crystal clear about what does your vision for your future look like? What goals do I need to achieve to get there? And of course, this course is all about income. So what are those clear visionary goals you have for your financial situation later on in life? All the people you're going to help. We talk about this being a very selfless thing, right? I hope that people want to make a lot of money because they want to help a lot of people. I think that's one of the best motivators of all, because you have a lot of people counting on you, right? You want to make a difference in the world, leave a legacy ideally. But all it is, start today, grab a scratch sheet of paper, start writing down some goals, get a vision board out. So, and I wanted to get your take on this. So when I train salespeople, the first thing I had all my salespeople do, day one, is create a vision board. That was it. Create a vision board, and then have them come back in the next day and share that with their peers. So how important and valuable is that? Whether you're talking about friends, family, coworkers, peers, that you get clarity in your vision, you share it with others.
That's cool you do that because it creates accountability. And then also encourage them, because then they want to share theirs, and it's reciprocation comes in, and it makes you like, wow, maybe I can do this. And then sometimes we find that others believe in us more than we believe ourselves oftentimes.
Yeah.
And then they support that, or they give some input that's, wow, that's really amazing. It stirs up something inside of you that, you know what, I am worth these things. And then you start to believe those things. The more you believe it, the more you see it, and now it becomes reality.
Yeah, 100%. I used to have salespeople going through their vision board, and it wasn't uncommon for them to be brought to tears. So they would be talking about it, and that's really powerful, by the way, because that's imprinting into their subconscious mind. It's becoming a deep groove. It's something they're very passionate about. But that's the power of like uttering these things out loud and getting clear about it. You start to realize how important these things are to you, but don't be afraid. A lot of people don't like putting their vision, their goals in writing and having images of them because they're afraid that if they do that, now they own it. Now they're holding themselves accountable and they're afraid of failure. You cannot be afraid of failure. You should actually try to fail as much as you can in life, because that's where the best lessons are going to be learned, and that's where you're really going to start to springboard forward. If you're not failing at all in life, you're not really achieving much, I can promise you that. So when you're failing a lot like me, like I fail at things all the time, but I fail forward and I'm smiling ear to ear as I push through each failure and obstacle, because I know that that's where the real growth and development occurs. But you can't be afraid of your vision. Like, embrace your vision. And your vision can modify and change depending on how you're, doing in your life, how you're navigating through achieving your goals, overcoming failures and obstacles. Like, you can continue to raise the bar, but you got to start somewhere. Get a baseline at the very least for what your vision looks like. Write down those goals. Don't be afraid of them. Smile ear to ear. Smile at failure, because those are challenging and exciting opportunities for you to grow and develop as a person. And then write down all the ideas you can come up with in order to achieve that goal. And it's no different than what I've talked about in previous videos, where you have your goal of climbing Mount Everest, right? Again, you can't just show up to Mount Everest and climb. You got to have, that is your goal, but then what is the ideas and the roadmap I need to follow? The training regimen, the diet, the exercise, acclimating to high altitudes, all that stuff, cold climate. What is the gear, like what I need to take with me in order to achieve this goal? Like, you got to map out the plan, the journey to get there. That's where a lot of people fall flat. So if your goal is to make more money, the answer is simple. Get clear as to what that looks like for your vision. How much money is it? What is the vision for my future? What type of lifestyle is going to be required? Okay, now that I know that how much money is my target on my vision board, how much would I need to make this week, this month, this year to achieve that goal? Break down these goals. So I got these little goals. Here's my weekly goal. Here's my monthly goal. Here's my annual goal. Now, what ideas can I come up with? Maybe it's studying Grosso University more, getting more mentorship, more training, attending more industry events, reading more books, getting healthier, because I know that there's a direct relationship between my ability to perform mentally to my physical health and well-being, right? After going through this training course, I realized that there's a deep connection to both. So that's what it's all about. So you got to start off ground zero, get a piece of paper out and start being clear about your vision, your goals. Ideally, take those visions and goals and get images associated with them, because then you have a much deeper recording in your subconscious mind of what those are. And then start getting creative, start writing down those ideas and share your goals publicly. Like Dr. InJun said, you gotta have that accountability group that doesn't just, put your feet to the fire when you need it and light a fire to your tail when you need it, but they also cheer you on every step of the way.
Makes it real too.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more real. So make it public. I can tell you so many examples of that where in my personal life, I was a little hesitant to do something, but then I finally committed. I made the commitment. I'm like, I made up my mind, I'm doing this. And then I give myself the deadline and then watch as the transformation occurs step by step. You can transform any area of your life with the right mindset, with the right goals, with the right vision, the right ideas. No one's gonna do this for you, I can guarantee that. No one will do it for you. It's like the Grant Cardone book, Sell or Be Sold, right? So you gotta do this on your own, but you gotta take baby steps. First thing is step one. Let's start getting clear about what our vision for our future looks like, and then break this down into bite-sized pieces so you can get started. And the best time to start execute on a goal is immediately. You don't wanna say, okay, the diet starts on Monday. It's like we always just keep pushing it up because, again, that fear of failure is absolutely profound. So just remember, you are a goal-seeking mechanism. You are a goal-oriented being, and you're going to be the most fulfilled in life when you are achieving and conquering your goals. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning into this course on the rich life. Again, if you want to achieve high levels of income, be clear about what that vision looks like, what that goal is, and that's going to propel you forward in ways you can't even imagine. So I hope this changes your thought process and you're thinking a little bit. Put that exercise, that little workshop idea to work for you. Start writing these things down, get crystal clear. So remember, when you write it down, that's your physical contract with yourself that you own it. So write it down, get the date, start putting in the work, and watch as your income and your personal goals and vision come true. So your future is literally waiting for you to take charge, and your income is the engine that gets you there. So again, we appreciate tuning in for another powerful episode of The Rich Life. On behalf of Dr. InJun and Grosso University, yes, you are a closer.